handful of presenters, a mass of microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Tobacco and tonight's episode of TigerTails Radio. I'm your host, TK, and in the studio we have an Angel Duck Song.
Hello.
And there might also be a Xavier.
Hello.
Hello. And I'm just adjusting my chair. It's too high.
And adjusting the the stereo that's on in the house.
Silence! Thank you.
Sausages are done.
Hey! Yes, we have sausages. We have Oriental duck sausages and some dipping sauces in the fridge. So we're looking forward to those. And that's going to be our week. Sausages.
And no Felis, I notice.
You are indeed correct. There is no Felis.
Is he of the girlfriend again?
He's of the sick. So get well soon, Felis. No, get well soon, Felis. That's something completely different. Silence! Silence!
What the fuck have you been on today?
I've had probably about 1.5 litres of Lucozade today.
Oh shit, Alex, I'm scared for you.
He can't hear you. He's busy burning himself on sausages. We have 2.5 sausages each, and they are Oriental duck flavoured. Yeah, I know. Well, they're pushing the boat out. We are. It's like a sample trial pack, and they're going to be tasty because, fuck yeah, Oriental duck sausages are gorgeous. I should know this. I've eaten them before.
They're going to be tasty without any chance of eating them to beforehand.
I've had them before. I know they're tasty. So there. And how are you, Mr. Xavier?
Eating.
Oh, really? What are you eating?
I have chicken korma.
Ooh, very nice.
Well, I needed to grab something on the way home because otherwise I wasn't going to eat, and
that would be bad.
Yes, seeing as today has been a case of massive amounts of busy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is Alex like trying to burn the house down? Because
yeah, he's investigating the oven.
With his face.
Ooh, hello. Thank you.
Because currently our listeners and watchers, all few of us on the live stream, get to see the empty studio or the empty comfy chair.
Look. Sausages. For Pete, they'll appear on the webcam in about 30 seconds time. For everyone else, you're watching them live. Thank you.
Well, they think they're watching them live. In actual fact, there is a delay.
There is about a 30-second lag here, so... It sucks to be everyone else. I get sausages. Alex gets sausages. No one else gets sausages.
Sausage for all!
Unless you've cooked sausages, in which case you too get sausages. But you don't get these ones. These ones are mine.
So, you can say that you and Alex are having a sausage fest in the studio?
Yes, we are.
I love putting sausages in my mouth, drizzling them with sauce, munching away.
It's true, we do.
Yeah, it's really good.
And
nice.
We get mustard ketchup dipping sauce.
We do indeed.
Ew.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Not a fan of mustard ketchup.
Really?
I like ketchup, I'm alright with mustard, but put the two together, yeah.
But it's just kind of slightly runny mustard.
As opposed to slightly runny ketchup?
Uh-huh.
I'm beginning to think a fork was a bad idea. These are quite hot. You can sit and cool them for a minute, Mr. Sausage. Mr. Fork, you can sit here.
I agree.
Alex is looking frantic and manic whilst he's trying to get himself settled.
He's burnt his mouth, probably, if he's just tried eating one of those bastards.
Yep.
Them's a bit warm. They've just come out of a very hot place.
Yep.
So,
and... Yes.
Innuendos?
No, burning hot scalding sausages.
Oh, I see. You've just watched Alex eat. I've been having trouble with Chrome this afternoon, so I've not got YouTube open. I've just got the bare minimum to get you on the stream, Pete. Otherwise, that was it. It was So I've no idea where my camera placement is, if it's even looking at me, or if it's doing
it is indeed. It's getting in your face.
Excellent. And so I'm just looking at a picture of a pannier tank, which is my desktop picture. And there's also channel, which probably no one's in at the moment. Oh no, hello DJ. DJ's in channel.
Hello.
Give him a quick message, that will see how long the lag is. But yes, it's been quite a fun week this week. Because I did some shopping. I went all middle class and did some nice shopping. Got some nice things. and some more otter ale, which was very well appreciated by my face. And
More otter ale, not small, tiny, furry otter.
No, I didn't get any otters. I just got the ale that they produce. Apparently made in Devon, in natural spring water, and it's very nice. Very lightly carbonated, very tasty. Do recommend. But yeah, we're on episode 51 of season 8.
Yeah.
What on earth is up with that? That's like this show and next week, and then that's it for season 8. It's done. And
Yeah, I know, it's
and then
scary.
then I can do the annual teardown, blow all the dust off everything, and investigate the concept of buying new wiring. Which I was going to do last year and didn't. But I think this year it's starting to need it a bit worse. Like, very much so. And then I might reorganise the lounge and see if for season 9 I can't get myself in the lounge with all the gear. Much to Hedge's dismay, I imagine. But oh well. Hashtag deal with it. So, Mr. Xavier, how has been your week?
My week, mostly filled with work as usual. Not really managed to get myself in any kind of schedule to get stuff done.
Aww.
So I've still not really been getting gaming done. I've been bouncing around watching various things on YouTube and DVDs.
So you've been slacking. You've been slacking, procrastinating from playing games.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that happens, unfortunately.
Got a secret.
And
These sausages are fucking hot.
weekend came round and I bimbled off to see Julia for the weekend, which was nice because we disappeared off to Poole, which was very nice for a bit of a wander around and a bit of food.
Did you visit Tower Park?
Visit?
Tower Park in Poole. Is it even
Don't
still
think
there?
so. No, not this time.
Does it even still exist? Is there still an ice rink?
I don't think the ice rink is there. I know the park has lots of lovely stuff going on.
Okay.
Normally when it's a bit better of the weather, but I don't know Poole that well. I stick to the places that I know.
I see. Because last time I went to Tower Park, it had an ice rink. And Splashdown. Which is the water park they had there.
Nah, so I've not got a clue. Maybe one day I'll go there, but I've generally avoided swimming and the associated things, so I've not visited the tower of the park.
I see, I can't swim. So I only went on one flume. And that was the torpedo run. I went on it about 80 times, but I only went on the one flume.
The one flume and promptly died a death.
Well, apparently it was the tallest one they had there, and also the fastest. But more importantly for me, it was the only one that didn't dunk you into the water when it spat you out the end of the tube. All the others did. So I was like, yeah, not going on that. Wow, going dunked. No thanks. So this one just spat you into a shallow pool, and it's like, I can deal with that. Shallow's good. I like shallow. And yeah, it was quite good fun. Going wee down the tube really fast.
Awesome. Yeah, and I spent Sunday just having a lay-in and watching Living Daylights later on in the afternoon, which was nice.
Okay.
Kind of being lazy, which I think is kind of indicative of how the show is going, because it's like coming to the end of the show and it's like, oh, stuff.
Sausage.
Yes, well, you can nibble on to Alex's sausage to your heart's content.
They're
can't
my
you?
sausages, thank you. I bought them.
Yeah. Jeez.
My very tasty and very expensive duck sausage.
Okay, so Alex can nibble on your sausage to his heart's content.
Indeed.
So that moves us swiftly on then to Alex and his week, seeing as he's riveted with his iPad there.
I'm just collecting myself. I did a bit of research before the show even started.
Ew.
Yeah, check him out.
Yeah, with Felix not here, I have to, take the place of somebody who gets the news.
You were.
No, it's just that if I don't look at the news, no one in the studio here will know anything.
Yeah, that's because I haven't got a machine that's capable of looking up the news.
Get a pad of some sort.
I've got a half-decent smartphone, but it's too fiddly.
Oh, man.
Ow.
My week has been very busy. The usual things happen in my weeks, like the games night and stuff, but that didn't actually happen, so it's not usual.
Aw.
I went to London Saturday, first time in a while, and I laughed my guts out for about most of the time I was actually in London
Why?
because of the stupid stuff that happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, game-wise. Like, it's been such a long time since I've gone up there to play games. So that when we were there and we were all playing and everything, we were just... It was so stupid. Like, the dumbest stuff would happen in the game, and we would just laugh at ourselves, laugh at the other person. And when the other person, like, lost, but it wasn't because you were, like, basically something bullshit happened. So all you did was just laugh, because it's like, what can I say? Woohoo!
Failure.
Yeah.
It's an option.
There was lots of shouting and swearing. It was a good weekend. And on Sunday, I made banana bread.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't have any with me because it's not mine. I essentially assisted in the creation of banana bread with my girlfriend. And it turned out okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. I was surprised.
So this one can cook.
Yes. Yes, actually, yeah.
I was very hesitant.
No. She can. She can't do anything special, but she can indeed cook. Other than that, I suppose picking up on my work at work, trying to get on top of things.
Actually doing work at work as opposed to just lounging around.
Yeah. Yep.
This piano music is far too depressing.
Very depressing.
There we go. It's like, he's working. Let's play some depressing music. No, let's not.
Every time that comes on, that gets skipped.
Yeah.
But no, I've just been spending most of my week either watching stuff because I'm too tired to play games, or just looking up for a new place to move to.
Yes.
Because I happen to be looking to move house.
He is in the housing market.
I am.
Anyway.
I thought you were friends with. You were going to move in with your friends.
I am. I'm doing the looking. They're doing the looking as well, but by the time they link me something, because I'm the one doing all the arranging of actually making the bookings for viewings, the actual contacting, nobody else wants to do this, so I was like, just give it to me.
Oh my god.
So I'm doing all that, but by the time they link me stuff and say, oh, what about this one? Get my opinion on it. And I say, I've already checked that one. They went already. It's like, oh, great. It's like, well, maybe you should phone them as soon as you find it then. So
basically, they've just lumped you with the task of house hunting.
Well, it's not they've lumped me. It's more that I'm probably the only responsible one to do that. I wouldn't rely on them to do that properly.
You're so doomed.
The only reason I say this is because they have never. Well, actually, one of the two has lived outside of his own home, but the other one hasn't. So I don't want to like. One of the guys, I do trust the opinion of, but the other one is like, look, yeah. Well, you're not young. You haven't left the roost. Don't know what it's like out there. But
And how old are you again, Alex?
24. Yeah, I'm not young. I'm not young anymore. I'm still in my 20s, early 20s. But shut up. But
Yeah, especially as like Davey's old grandfather time over here.
36, thank you, fuck you.
Exactly. You're like nearly old enough to be his dad.
oh god, oh god, he is, isn't he? Nearly. In a parallel. Well, actually,
No,
technically, yes.
Biologically, yes.
Yeah.
Papa
Xavier.
No.
Papa Xavier. Why do you not love me?
Kick the baby.
If I had you as a son, it would be a case of, son, you've got a lovely job, but seriously, you've got issues.
Where's Mama?
Oh.
I can probably get a train, come down and be there in time to kick your ass.
Like to see you try. No, seriously, do. It'd be hilarious.
Shut up. Anyway.
Hang on, I'm not going to be on the show for the next 2 hours.
It's okay, we'll make it a special extended edition.
I will be moving into the same area as TK again. So,
He's going to become a local boy again.
yeah. Closer to work, more central. I mean, like, I know the area I live in is central to our city, but it's also out the way in a sense. Because everyone I know is up the other half of the city.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Most people normally all live in the kind of St Mary's area. But you've managed to find a bunch of friends who live up in the Shirley end.
Yep.
Where'd you go, you? Shirley, Maybush, that kind of area.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say it, but a lot more places are doing the renting in Shirley area compared to everywhere else. Or at least half decent ones, I should say.
I remember the Maybush era. Was it you who was with me, Pete, when we caught up with Sue? And she filled us in on what's been happening in Studio B since we left.
Many people transferring through the house.
What's that?
The old house?
Yeah, no, give it a rundown of what you're talking
Well,
about.
basically, instead of just having a bunch of people under one tenancy, they've decided to divide it up into a bunch of individual rooms and rent them out individually.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
And it's been short-term lease everywhere.
Ugh.
Oh, and not one English person, from what I understood.
No, there's one now. There was one English person now. But yeah, apparently there's been a variety of ethnicities coming through the place. And Sue's going, I miss you guys.
Really?
That's surprising.
We loved Sue. I mean, when we were noisy neighbours, she'd send us a text. Not complaining about the noise, but either taking the piss or encouraging it. So,
The epic SingStar Marathon.
yeah. When we were doing SingStar and she sent the text in, okay, guys, about the singing, don't give up your day jobs. It was like, oi! Cheeky moo.
That was a hard day of work, if I remember.
That was a
I
good-
really appreciated being able to be that stupid.
Yeah. I remember the one time we were having a late night drunken thing, and Sue was kind of considering coming round to say, can you just tone it down a touch? And then she ended up joining us.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She was like, oh, I could stay for a glass of wine or two. And it's like, that's the spirit, come on.
You're bad people.
We are.
Yes.
Well, that's why we loved Sue, because she was amazing. And then after she
And we
left,
did help her out when she asked, which was
yeah.
always cool.
and yeah, when she left, we kept the noise down after that. But yeah, she joined us for a while. It's like, hey, if you can't beat us, join us. Why not?
We did more gardening for her than our own house, if I recall.
Yeah, well, yes and no. Mind you, we did more gardening for her because we kept on pinching all of her tools. So
Yeah.
there was kind of a trade going there. It was like, I would exchange labour for parts. It's like, okay, that sounds fair. And we were the
So
big,
how was...
we were the big burly men, if you remember.
Yes.
I know, right? A house full of puffs and Pete, and we were the big burly men. Oh,
Yeah, Hedgie, TK, myself, and Bungle. Dear God.
that reminds me of when I tried to dial the house and I got the wrong number. If you confuse the last 3 digits of our phone number and get them around the wrong way, you end up calling a woman. And she's quite a nosy bitch.
Really?
Yeah. Because when she answered the phone, I was like, oh, I'm terribly sorry, I've got the wrong number. And she was like, no, who did you want to call? And I said, definitely not you. Don't worry, I've got the wrong number, I'll go. And she said, no, he might be here. Who are you trying to call? So I turned around and said, look, I was trying to call a house full of gay men, and you're a woman. I've got the wrong number. And she hung up on me.
I remember you told that story on the way back home. It was quite hilarious.
I was like, see? Bitch, I'll teach you to pry, won't it? I knew I had
So
the wrong
how-
number.
How has your week then been, TK?
My week hasn't been too bad. It's kind of flown by a bit. Saturday came along. Well, there was lots of work during the rest of the week, so I was quite happy for Saturday. And then I kind of chilled. Went to a farmer's market on Saturday morning. Got picked up by my dad. And we went shopping. And I bought lots of nice things, including buffalo burgers, wild boar burgers, oriental duck sausages, varieties of jams and curds, scones. What else did I get? Oh, the mustard ketchup, which is delicious. How can you not like it, Pete? It's amazing.
Is that you good?
It's like mustard, but milder, but zingier, if that makes sense.
It actually has flavour rather than just heat.
Yeah. It's got all the kind of punch of flavour, but without any of the burning sensation.
And that definitely didn't burn.
Yeah, there was definitely no burn. It's very nice. It's quite delicious. And I got some Guinness crisps as well, which they were very nice as well.
I saw the Facebook feed.
Yep. And like I say, I got my otter head and otter bright ales, and they were very tasty as well.
Beer, not otter head as in anything furry related, just
No,
beer.
It's just beer. It's just called otter head, which is weird because there's no head on it. It's an ale that doesn't have a head. They should have called it Otter Headless. That would have been more accurate. But no, I spent most of Saturday afternoon chilling, catching up on The Voice and a couple of other things. And then Sunday was the world's laziest day.
Oh, God, yeah.
Trademark. It was the day you don't even go out of your pyjamas. You just sit in front of the computer and vegetate. That was my day. I vegetated. Utterly and totally and unashamedly. And you know what? I'd do it again. It was a glorious
Most days
day.
for Hedgie, wouldn't it, if vegetating in his pyjamas?
Well, on Friday, Hedgie accosted me.
Ooh,
On the Thursday, he said, "Can we do a thing?" And I kind
Ooh,
of, I kind of half paying attention. Went, "Yeah, sure, whatever." I came home on Friday to find out he'd got most of the things set up already, and it was then I realised what I'd led myself in for. I can only say I'm sorry, people. I can actually play you a little bit of a preview, actually.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I know what you did, so no.
Yeah. No, I don't think you're getting away with this, Pete.
Oh dear. Oh, what has he done?
Ow.
Oh dear.
Let's turn that down a bit, because it's running on the same feed Pete is. Right, and let's turn the backing music off. Now, Hedgie, I'm going to fast forward a bit, I think. Hedgie is learning the piano, and he's also taking singing lessons. Hedgie can't sing, or at least couldn't sing, or can't sing, depending on your point of view. Let's just play a little clip, so... This lead piano is Hedgie. This is right from the end. I thought I'd try and get it in the instrumental bit.
Not too bad.
And then you get the singing.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. We're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. We're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright.
I'll leave you to
He's
make your own
improved.
decisions.
Yeah, he's improved. He's definitely improved.
Yeah, that's not saying much, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have picked that song.
I don't see anyone he can play on piano at the moment, so...
Oh, right. I'm going to teach you a song on piano. Which one? What you can't sing?
Oh, my ears. Oh, that was really loud.
Oh, Pete.
Yeah.
Pete, talk.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that better, Alex?
This is really loud.
Oh, dear God.
Turn it down a little smidgen.
Oh, okay. How's that?
Speak.
Hello.
Okay, that's better.
I wondered why he was...
Angel Dark Song wears women's underwear.
Nothing worse than Pete coming into your ears like that.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Do we. Right, so yeah, that's what I ended up
I
doing.
will point out that no, they're probably no.
Now, Pete is the shade of a Pete.
Nope.
That is my magic trick. Uh-huh.
What?
I'm in a different city from him, and I have changed the color of his face.
Ah. Why, what have you done?
He's assuming I've gone bright red.
Have you got your wang out on the camera?
Not yet.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I have to
I
turn
haven't,
on...
but Alex
to
apparently
get my
is going
wang out,
to.
I'd have to turn on Tekken, okay? So...
Oh, God.
His name's Wang.
I think we need to move to the
and then you can
gaming
play
news
with
quickly.
King and you can have Wang King.
Yeah,
Oh, because somebody was a genius when coding that game. Oh, I've got Tekken 6. I don't know if that has Wang in it or not.
Yeah, 6 does.
Can we just get to the gaming news?
No, that is gaming news. There is Wang in Tekken 6.
Yeah. Ha. News, people. News.
And he's not even a hidden character. Because could you imagine having hidden Wang in Tekken?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Then you're a worse person than I, Pete. You're a worse
No,
person
no,
than I.
I'm
Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
Oh, dear God. So, a reasonable
Wang.
amount of news that I found.
I want to say a thing.
Go on then.
Fuck yes, Rock Band 4!
There goes one bit of news.
Yeah, Rock Band 4's been announced, coming for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
Sometime this year.
Sometime this year. So, my PlayStation 4 needing has suddenly accelerated quite considerably. Considering Rock Band 4 will not only come with an awesome on-disc soundtrack, but will also support your previously purchased DLC and your previously purchased plastic instruments.
Oh.
I am so sold.
Although there will be new peripherals coming through the partnership with Mad Catz,
Yep.
but they will only be guitars, drums, and microphones.
Yep, no new other goodies. Hopefully they've still got keyboard support. I'll be very happy if they still have keyboard support, because we have a keyboard, and I like playing it. There aren't quite so many keyboard songs out there, but I don't care. I like playing the keyboard.
Well, they're saying the only in-game pro mode
Or be drums.
for the new game will be for the drums, so maybe still keyboard support?
Yeah, maybe not
Possibly.
pro keyboard support, but yeah, hopefully regular keyboard support. That will do me. I don't need pro. Pro can fuck off. That was hard. And the only reason drums is surviving is because they accidentally coded pro drums in from the very first game without realising. Hence why you can always have a pro drum track with each of the songs. It was just a happy coincidence that the way they'd coded drums meant they could then have a pro mode drum.
Oh, and they're looking to shift away from perfectly perfecting performance to give players more time for self-expression.
Mhm.
So potentially solos?
Yeah.
Are solos?
Solos where you go, mash shit, have fun, as opposed to trying to recreate the perfect solo.
Well, mash it makes sense rather than mash it, have fun, because mash it and have fun could be so much crazy.
Yeah. Well, you imagine the end of Rock... If you remember the end of Rock Band 1 songs, where you had the kind of freestyling mode, where the idea was to smash buttons as fast as you can to drum up the highest score, and then hit that perfect note at the end to see whether or
Which
not you got
everyone
to keep
failed.
the score. Speak for yourselves. I always caught it. Bar like 1 or 2 times, but that was it.
Moving on, after TK stole that one, we have talk about the Morpheus VR pricing and E3 game reveals from PlayStation executive Shuei Yoshida. Because so many conferences, GDC and everything right now, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And
So
isn't there
this-
an Apple live stream at the moment, or soon?
Oh, fuck that.
Because Apple are releasing a watch or something.
Oh, the smartwatch, yes, and so is everyone else.
And no one gave a shit because it looks like shite.
Well, the Apple one won't, but it will sell, and then everyone else's will sell, and then suddenly everyone will have one.
No. Apples will sell because they are branded.
Yeah. It's like people with Nintendo. If it's got the logo on it, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
Except at the
But-
moment, Apple hasn't pissed off all of its fans by developing underpowered consoles and then touting them out at full price.
But he's talking about the pricing as well as internally developed VR games announced for E3 in June. We haven't talked about these games yet. We're waiting for the right time. Probably at E3, we'll show you the actual games.
Okay. Watch this space.
In terms
Because it's going to be a high price tag. They better justify it.
well, the price they've not gotten to yet exactly.
It's gonna be
They
a
are
lot.
saying they're looking at new demos to illustrate the power as a platform. Let's see. In terms of the price, he wants to give a lower price point as possible,
Okay.
but they don't have a specific target. As this is a console business, we try to provide hardware at the lowest cost so that more people come in, and more developers can come in to the market. Now, we have seen, because of the mobile conference, the HTC and a bunch of others, that I don't know if the prices have been confirmed, but certainly there's tech that's starting to look cheap for VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need I remind people that we actually have tech that's cheap for VR. It's called Google Cardboard. I have it in my hand. Here it is. It is very pretty and cardboard. And with the insertion of a smartphone, you too can have 3D. You'll just take the Velcro,
Oh, that sounds horrendous.
activate your smartphone app, put smartphone in, close, and enjoy virtual reality on your phone with some cardboard.
Yeah.
Well, he does confirm the core hardware has been finalised. and that Sony has no plans to release a wireless version of the headset, so you will be connected to your console, so don't run around the room.
Unlike another piece of VR tech that we saw demoed. Oh, I didn't see it. They wouldn't have cameras in, but they talked about it.
Oculus Rift?
No, another one.
Oh, the mobile phone one.
The one that allows you to actually walk around.
Yeah, the one where you require a phone of a certain company.
I don't know which one it was, actually. It might have been the Vive, whatever it's called.
It's not the Vive. The Vive is actually like standalone.
But there was one that will be wireless when the final one comes out, where the reviewer could actually walk around the room, and where his walking would be reflected in the in-game environment. And a little grid would come along whenever he was getting too close to an object that he could trip over. Like, or bounce into a wall or something. It was all pretty cool.
Very quickly, there was also a brief update from Capcom about the release date for Street Fighter V to PS4 and PC.
Okay.
Spring 2016, which is not a solid release date.
Spring 21?
2016.
Okay.
So, presumably, unofficially, maybe, because of a leak on Amazon and Best Buy, March 31st, 2016.
I see.
Also, I believe Project Morpheus is coming to us early 2016.
Coming to us?
Yeah, early 2016. Now, I have two bits of news I would like to go over quickly, and the first one, Valve has announced the Source 2 engine is going to be free.
Yay!
Yay!
Woo?
What do you mean, blue? Source,
I said woo?
Source 2. Oh, woo. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
fuck woo.
So basically, anything that, Valve games run off at the moment are Source 2. And a lot of other independent releases, such as the Stanley Parable, Titanfall is even off of the Source 2 engine. And it comes in with another announcement of Unreal Engine 4 being free. They've changed from a subscription-based model, which they had last year, to a free model with 5% royalties when you earn over $3,000 a year on your purchase, on your IP.
Yep.
So,
Which is pretty cool.
yeah. Currently, we have a lot of developers saying, free shit, try it. We try our engine.
Not
Go
forget
for our
Unity
engine."
5 is free, or there's a free version thereof. Or you can pay to subscribe or download the full thing.
Yeah. It's basically, what better time to start learning how to code a game
Yeah.
when they're giving you the software
Get on that shit, people.
that AAA studios use.
And if you want a job, then build up a portfolio using these things, learn it, and then get yourself a tasty job developing games and make a shit ton of money.
When we say learn this shit, we do mean don't just go to college and assume your qualifications will do this. Actually use this shit outside of school and you'll get a job.
Yes, you will.
Build your ass and portfolio. Seriously, guys, it's worth the effort.
Yes, you go to computer and you build your portfolio, and you go to the gym and you build your ass. That's how they do it.
Alex seems to have an ass fixation today.
No, this is like the first time I've mentioned it. I always have an ass fixation.
Never with my ass.
What? Moving on. Johnny Cage is returning to Mortal Kombat. TK,
I hear.
you hear?
I'm happy by this.
Yeah. It was confirmed in an interview with Adan Urbano, who is the senior producer of NetherRealm Studios.
Why is my phone making noise?
I don't know. Shut it up.
Dear phone, seriously, STFU.
Some other people who will be reoccurring are other minor characters who they've not said, but also Kenshi, who I thought was dead.
Or is he?
I don't know. He's blind.
Well, Kenshi had a descendant in the game, that's the thing, or at least...
Everyone has a descendant in the game. That's how they get around
Yeah.
all the problems. Oh, this character died. Here's his son. This character died. Oh, well, here's his long-lost mother's sister's brother.
He's Scorpion, he's human. Fuck you all.
Yeah.
Or is he?
No, not anymore.
Read the comic. Learn all.
Stop selling the comic.
But it's so good. I read episode 10 last night.
Do you get like commission?
I wish.
Moving on, Square Enix asked what game you want it to make next.
A good one?
Yes,
Final
how
Fantasy
many
10?
people said Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Oh, too many.
I want Final Fantasy 10-3.
Well, basically,
It's
this was a
basically
survey
Final
to
Fantasy
figure out...
10, but without the laugh scene.
Dear God. This was to figure out what the audience is for the company, what media you consume, and how. But it does end with one interesting question, which is what one game would you want Square Enix to make in the future? Theoretically, you can also write in that you want Square Enix to make Half-Life 3. But I doubt people will. They had ran a similar survey on the future of Kingdom Hearts, but we've still not heard anything about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Because they showed footage of it and confirmed it was being made way too early. Way.
Yeah, even they've said it was too early. Way too early.
And now they're kicking themselves because they're like, well, fools. Now they
But
expect something.
it does seem like they're figuring out their audience and mainstream medias that their audience is watching for some reason. I'm not entirely sure, but a lot of stuff was made about the Final Fantasy 15 demos / reveals.
Episode Duskay. That's what the demo's called. Episode Duskay.
Episode what?
Duskay. D-U-S-C-A-E. Duskay.
I see.
And it's a demo that will be available on the March 17th if you would like to play it. Oh, you'll have to buy Final Fantasy Type 0 HD first. Okay? It's like a Kickstarter, except you have to buy their past games instead of support their current game.
It's like every Final Fantasy demo ever.
So stupid.
Oh, and Hideo Kojima games as well. Oh yeah, must remember that.
Why do you have to buy
Ah, shit, dog.
a demo?
Because it sells the game?
Yeah, but it's stupid.
Speaking of Hideo Kojima,
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid is going to be confirmed as the last in the series.
Yeah, of the Metal Gear Solid series.
Yeah.
How many other Metal Gears can you make, Hideo Kojima?
Well, he himself said that this brings the overall episode arc of what he's been doing with Metal Gear Solid. So that includes Metal Gear
That's making me ill.
2, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, Peace Walker, and now 5. They are all one circle that loops into itself. And the fifth one will close the series off. The main stories. He said he's open for he can't say if there will be more spin-offs and stuff, such as Revengeance, or I'm sure there was another like spin-off ones. Basically, if other developers wanted to do stuff and he approved it, then they can. But for him, he will not make any more Metal Gear Solid games. Even though he said this in the past, though, it has been noted, but...
Like every time Metal Gear finished, he said, I'm not going to do any more, and then went on to make another one, much to the annoyance of everyone who sat there and went, Zone of the Enders?
He said that about everyone after 3, but to be honest, this does sort of lead on to the point where there's not really much more you can do in the universe.
No, it literally is the transformation of
Big Boss from a
old
protagonist
Big Boss to
No,
Big
to
Boss
an
you remember from the first game.
Yeah. From hero to antagonist.
So it will be interesting to see how that pans out. He did also say that the speech for him will be limited because it's a darker character.
Limited.
Yeah, not as much conversation from Big Boss / Snake.
Oh yeah, it's because David Hayer's not doing it. David Hayer loves talking. It's Kiefer Sutherland. His words probably cost more. I don't think that's a joke.
No, it probably isn't. Any more news from the room?
Yes, of course. You're silly. TK, do you have any news, or are you busy playing with your...
I had a thing.
What you got?
We had the Mortal Kombat news, we had Rock Band 4 news, there was one other bit of news, I can't remember what the fuck it was.
Well, why do you think...
We talked about it before the show, Alex.
What did we talk about?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. You think of that.
Damn it. And you're probably going to say it now and steal it.
There's a Supergirl
No, I wasn't saying
pilot
that.
episode. Just a quick out there, seeing as we talk about TV as well on here, but and it's comic related, so yeah. So more superhero TV shows is going to be a bit saturated.
Well, I'm hoping it will be good because Supergirl is on the vein of the Smallville era and the story with Clark, and I know that's a completely different universe to the current DC stuff. But it is literally going, and here's someone who's goddamn immortal.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be good. I mean, the costume looks okay, actually, from what we've seen. It's not...
Well, it's a pilot, so...
Yeah.
Could work, might suck.
I'm sure it'll be leaked and we can watch it. I mean, we can hear rumours about it. Yeah.
Totally not
Legitimate
pirating.
Totally
review
rumours.
copy.
Totally rumours.
Totally not pirating it.
Now,
Moving on then, a couple of sad pieces of news. We had a police officer killed in a GameStop shootout.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually had to reread this a couple of times, double check the date, and make sure this was a serious article, because I thought this was a complete get-up. But apparently, 30-year-old Robert Wilson III was inside the store when two men attempted to rob it.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He was off duty. Well, sorry, he was on duty to do a security check, but also to buy a gift for his 8-year-old son, who was being rewarded for doing well in school, when the two men entered on Thursday thinking the game store was an easy robbery target. A shootout ensued, with more than 50 shots being fired over a 30-second
Fucking
span.
hell. What were they, machine guns?
I have no idea, but this was according to NBC Philadelphia. Wilson was shot multiple times at close range and was killed by a shot to the head.
Bummer.
And there's already been a big campaign and trust fund set up for the family, and people are donating to it as well.
Oh, excellent. Good to hear. Community coming together.
It's nice to hear, because this kind of thing... Because this is a guy just coming in to get something for a reward for his kid, which I think is awesome anyway. And then you have this shit happening. It's kind of... It's not the nicest of news, but you also have the HoloLens designer killed in a car crash.
Christ.
Yep, this was 30-year-old Mike I, who was in a hit-and-run accident. He was rear-ended by a hit-and-run driver at 100 miles per hour. And that was according to a report in Seattle News.
That's quite fast.
That's ridiculously fast. He was captured. The guy who did it was captured with the help of a tracking dog after he fled the scene on foot, and he faces vehicular homicide and hit-and-run charges.
Good. In happier news, I've remembered the thing.
Yes.
New
Good.
and Tasty is one of the PlayStation Plus giveaways on the PS4.
Yeah.
So, you know that PS Plus thing we all have? You know, if we have PlayStation consoles and actually like games. Now's the time to grab New and Tasty if you haven't already got it.
It's
For free.
very tasty.
It is very, very tasty. Alex has played it. We have probably reviewed it previously on the show, and we are
Yes.
in total love with it. And now it can be yours. And if you don't yet own a PS4, but do have PlayStation Plus because you've got a Vita or a PS3, doesn't matter. Add it into your download list, and then when you get your PS4, it'll be there ready and waiting for you.
And you too can throw a controller across the room because it's that hard.
Only if you put it on hard mode. Don't forget, they've made it easier for the noobs.
They've made it more accessible. Actually, no, the hard mode is, the original difficulty.
Yeah, hard mode is original. Original was hard to start with, so...
Yeah.
I watched Alex play this game. He died more times than mud.
Yeah, because I'm playing on classic.
Yeah, he's playing on hard mode. He's doing it properly.
His fucking dick's hard.
It is.
Doing it properly. I'm going to walk towards this thing that will kill me instantly. Walk, 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 die. You were supposed to stop, Alex. Shut up. I'm going to sneak up to it by rolling. Roll, die. Were you supposed to do that? Shut up. I figured it out now. Die. Shut up.
Shut up is generally short for, yes, I totally meant to do that. Yeah, now you're distracting me. Go away.
Yeah, completely.
Hang on. Right, hang on, Alex.
Oh,
I don't know how well it's going to work.
I have to take the glasses off.
I don't know
Okay.
if it works.
Google Glasses. Moving on, Sony says the PSN is
Alright.
attacked every day and it's a constant battle. And this is speaking out after the Christmas Day DDoS attack against the network brought down the service for multiple days. As part of an interview, he's saying we're always working against these attacks. An attack happens every day. Some are bigger, some are smaller. Some days they devise new means, new ways. It's like cat and mouse. Phil Spencer, who recently said the Christmas DDoS attack, which also affected Xbox Live, was a learning experience, also said Microsoft is working together with Sony and Nintendo to discuss ways where they can go about stopping such attacks in the future. Which is nice to hear, although I personally would go like the arrest scheme that recently popped up in the BBC News. Find all the people doing the attacks and stop them. With mallets. And I'm filling, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Utterly.
What was this about mallets?
Well, in the BBC News, as Alex on the camera blinks spirally after taking Google glasses off, the BBC News had an update about a mass arrest across the country in relation to various hacking scandals.
Oh, yes. the crackdown.
Yeah.
I think it's like 30 other arrests or something.
And allegedly a member of 2 Lizard Squad we got.
Yeah.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Stop trying.
Any monies from the room?
Yes. Senior BioWare writer David Geider is leaving his post as writer for the Dragon Age series. Announced on Twitter. He said he's staying with the studio. Going to be moving on to an as of yet unnamed project, because I can't read today. I really can't read today. He said he's decided to leave Dragon Age to move on to an upcoming BioWare project, which he can't discuss. He can talk about it, but he can't talk about it.
So he can talk about the fact he's doing it, but he can't talk about what the project is.
Yeah. So...
I understand.
Yeah. While it's hard to leave Dragon Age behind, 10 years is a long time to work on any one project. Yeah, and it was decided it was time to something new. Really can't read. Yeah, so... I honestly don't know what they're doing, because they've cancelled Shadow Realms last month. Was it this month? I think it was late last month. They are working on plans for another full game in the Mass Effect trilogy, or not trilogy, rather franchise, because they said they're not going to call it Mass Effect 4 because that will be a disservice, because it will not follow the trilogy's Commander Shepard. Because seriously, if Commander Shepard did anything more, then he's already considered a god in their universe, and I'm not even joking. Literally, the end of Mass Effect 3.
You are God.
Yeah.
Of certain incarnation.
The legacy is so great. They call him the Shepherd. You don't even fucking tell me if he dies.
And if ever you're a friend of Commander Shepard, one of 2 things will happen. You will die, you will get shagged.
We'll bang, okay?
Okay.
One or t'other. Not
Basically,
both,
you're fucked or you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yes. Moving on, the Steam machines, prices and schematics have been confirmed. Interesting specs that have been shown out. We've got Alienware, who are giving 4 variants, with the basic being 2 gig of video, 4 gig of system RAM, and the i3 processor, to the high end, which doubles the RAM and then has an i7 processor.
Okay.
Quad core, by the way.
Naturally.
The lower end being dual core. They look ugly. Alternate has also mentioned it. I mean, the starting prices is $480 for Alienware dollars, $1,100 for Steam machines from Alternate, which is apparently a different company for the more affluent PC games enthusiast. Definitely more Alternate games enthusiast, because they got high priced ones of $1,899. Jesus, we got Asus, $700 upwards. Again, similar specs.
Yeah.
Digital Storm, $700 upwards, similar specs. Holy shit. Falcon Northwest Tiki Steam Machine, which looks awesome, $2,000 to $5,000.
Christ.
But these are the i7 for the Intel Core, GeForce Series, GTX 900, including Titan Z, which I'm assuming is the highest, up to 16GB of DDR3, up to 8 terabyte of SSD storage, or SSDS, and a standard HDD. Liquid cooled CPU.
Okay, so that's the recipe for disaster when it all goes wrong.
Yeah.
Gigabyte bricks, which is $600. iBuyPower SPX Steam machine, which is $460 upwards. That a lot of them just look horrible. They are clearly designed to be hidden behind the TV. Main gear $850. The similar specs. But in looking through all of the machines, you do have out-of-the-box gaming systems that will run games fairly well guaranteed from every single one that I've seen. I mean, even the lowest specs, you could quite happily plug it into the back of a TV or a decently large monitor
And just
and
have
run
fun.
whatever the basic current mainstream games are. And some of them will even handle, I'd imagine, streaming and probably services like Netflix and things like that.
Yeah, hope.
Hopefully, but they're all due
Otherwise,
November
what's the
time.
point?
This is America. So it looks like this Christmas is going to be the year of the Steam Machine consoles.
Is it going to be worth it, though? That's the question.
Maybe. The end.
If you can hide them, yes, but
Well, see, people like me, we already have our PCs hooked up to our telly anyway,
Yeah.
so what's the point? If you're that serious about it, surely you'd have done that already. And basically just buying a dedicated PC for gaming kind of defeats the object of buying a PC.
well, there are still people who will buy PCs or custom build PCs.
Yeah, but they'll build ones that are
specifically for
much better than the Steam box, so...
And let them do stuff other than play games.
Yeah.
gaming, possibly.
the Steam
But
box
there's
does seem
enough
like a
companies
colossal
here
waste of
doing
money.
this to suggest that there's going to be people buying it. That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing, they're hoping that by all these people jumping on, it'll actually create demand. And once you've created the demand, then it's going to be quite easy to find justifications for fulfilling the demand, which will in turn create more demand, like how Apple products sell. You create a demand, and then satisfied. No one needed the iPhone, but everybody wanted it in the end.
Well, it was more of a fashion accessory until it got to the point when it was useful.
Yeah, iPhone, useful, same sentence. Yeah.
Any more news from the room? Apparently not.
Yes, I'm just waiting for it to load up.
My news is I'm on 5 a.m. of Night 7 of Five Nights at Freddy's on the mobile phone. And
Oh, just 5 Nights at Freddy's.
yeah, the original. And hopefully...
Have you seen any of 3?
Oh, I've seen a shitload of 3. I've gone over that with a fine-tooth comb to learn all of the lore. And holy shit. Ah, yeah. And I'm hoping that there isn't a 4th game, but there is kind of either maybe a book, story type thing, or a small movie just to fill in some of the gaps.
The Purple Man.
And it's 6 a.m. Beaten Night 7.
Damn.
And I'm fired. Okay.
At which point you go, like, fuck.
Yeah, well, screw you.
What? What game?
The original Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh.
You beat Night 7, then you get fired.
Yeah, I know. But,
Oh.
like, why is there Five Nights at Freddy's 3? I know why there is, because the guy's capitalized. It's easy to make games. The guy knows he's capitalizing on this while it's popular. He's doing the right thing from a business standpoint, but from my opinion, it's like, what a scumbag.
Oh no, because
No, the lore and the videos alone of people playing this.
Yeah.
and the legions of fans demanding a 4th game.
Yeah, just so they can see PewDiePie.
No, because they want to know what happens in the rest of the story. They want the gaps filled in.
It's insane.
He's
I
a
mean,
fucker in that respect.
we now have this 30 years in the future creating a horror place where they find one of the original suits, as in Freddy's suit.
Huh?
Oh, and by the way, you're hallucinating.
Should we save this for the gaming thing section, the chat where we talk about the shit we've done, and then we can all have a rant about the videos we've seen? Because none of
Yes.
us have the balls to play it.
Okay, so have you loaded up, or should we still rant?
Huh? Oh,
Alex,
actually,
have you loaded it?
oh, sorry.
Load up Bob.
Your news.
Oh, okay. In sad news as well. The designer for Microsoft's HoloLens has been killed in a hit and run.
This sounds
I'm
vaguely
flashing back.
familiar.
Yeah, what do you mean it sounds very familiar?
As in, Pete did it earlier.
Pete did about the guy who was shot.
And then he followed into...
Why? Why are you going about so much death, Pete? Why are you so macabre?
This shows Alex pays attention to the show whilst he's on it.
No. Pay attention to you. I don't.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Okay. Oh, I have more anyway. I'm prepared. Preparation. What? Like Sony is beta testing a new PlayStation 4 firmware version 2.5, which includes suspend mode. Apparently, according to leaked emails sent to PlayStation MVPs. But yeah, it will supposedly this update will bring the long-awaited feature of doing what the PS Vita could do and the PSP can do.
Yeah.
Suspend your stuff while you bugger off and do something else.
And not crash.
And not crash. Yeah, that's the
And not
important
crash.
bit.
Yeah, so
Because the PS Vita and PSP can suspend it even during a power cut. For instance, as long as the battery doesn't get physically removed, the battery can run out of juice and it will still be suspended. I've not actually tried it, taking the battery out. You can't on the Vita anyway.
no, you can't.
But yeah, so... And it's taken them this long to get that on PS4?
Well, they started it.
I don't know what I don't know what the difficulty is. I mean, there must be something to do with the way it addresses memories and things. But I mean, even
Holy
Windows
shit, I've got to remember something. Freak out!
even Windows can do suspend. It just basically dumps a save state to the hard drive. So why couldn't the PS4 do that?
I have no idea.
Bill Gates had the shit figured out.
Moving on, Sega has teased a team-up with the Pokemon developer Game Freak.
Pokemon?
Yep, they have suggested that they're working on something and that we'll hear about it next week. They tweeted an image which was very surreal. It looks like an elephant firing peanuts and hand grenades at
Mario.
a shark fin.
Not-
I have no idea.
I think it should be firing peanuts at Mario. Where Sonic just there cheering and cheering it on.
But it seems to be a weird little thing, and the bizarrest thing is this is Sega and the guys who made Pokemon, or one of the Pokemon games, teaming up. I never thought that we'd have something along these lines suddenly happening. But that will apparently be hitting us 11th of March.
Okay, we shall wait and see then. When is E3 coming up?
June.
Oh, thanks for narrowing it down, Pete. Jeez. We know June.
It'll be a week in June, spread over about 7 to 6 days, of which I can't tell you yet.
Okay, that's fine. At least you have an answer if you don't know. That was better than Pete's answer.
They've not... Oh, no, they have. June 16th to 18th.
Ah, there we go.
16th to the 18th. I think you mean a bit longer.
That's a very short
No,
evening. Mind you,
16th
that's
to
fun.
the 18th.
That's generally when the press conference is run, isn't it? Then the kind of the celebrations carry on after that.
Well, I wouldn't call it celebrations. The show floor is opened and stuff.
Oh, and Bethesda, who are doing their first year's one there, are having a conference completely far away from every other fucking person's conference, which pisses up my schedule.
Really?
Yeah. I believe they've announced it'll be separate from everyone else's, which annoys me, really does annoy
I'm
me.
looking forward to the Sony conference because I want to be sat down for 2 hours just listening to them talk about Morpheus.
The reporters will love it because it means they got lots of time to go from one conference to the other, rather than what normally happened. We're in this building. Now take 20 minutes to get across an entire city block, which normally takes an hour to get to the next conference.
Good luck.
In heatwave.
In a mad throng of panic.
But yeah, I need to get ready to book my time off, book a day off anyway, so that I can stay up all night, watch conferences, watch a couple of the next day, then collapse and go to work the next day.
At least you can do that. I don't even think I'm going to be able to get that time off. Moving on, Battletoads is coming to Shovel Knight.
Oh, Battletoads.
DLC pack?
Not entirely sure. Microsoft has actually mentioned this at GDC. They will be making an appearance in the Xbox One version of Shovel Knight, and it was teased that is not all awaits for the franchise. They have shown off Universal App support with a brief appearance from the Battletoads and a possible future platforming game.
Hey, look, we had a franchise. Let's milk it quick while people still remember it.
Well, if they're feeding it into stuff, then it wouldn't be surprised if they eventually get it out, and it will generate some buzz, because it was an interesting game, aside from the most broken cycle section in the world.
It wasn't broken, it was just fucking balls hard.
If you got it wrong, you couldn't complete it.
Yeah, you died. And you had to start again. And again.
And
And
again,
again.
and again.
And again. Until it ate all of your quarters.
And when I say get it wrong, there was a section where if you missed the corner, you couldn't beat it.
Hey, I don't think
Literally couldn't beat it.
I'm thinking of the side-scrolling one.
Yes.
And it was
There was a place you had to turn. You did turn in it, like into different places. If you missed one, you just couldn't finish it.
I remember that. Because I saw it being speedrunned. And there wasn't any turning in it because it was a flat 2D plane.
I thought there was turns in it.
No, it just went up and down and stuff. And it was like you had to know what was coming way in advance because there was no time for you to figure it out on the fly. That shit was hard, yo.
Any more news from the room before I finish off with a hilarious piece of news?
No, I've got nothing else.
No, you're good to go.
Oh dear God. So, Paris Hilton is getting a new video game.
I thought it said hilarious, not tragic.
The new game is based on socialite, singer, model, actress, and entrepreneur, and now is in development for mobile devices.
Oh dear. What's it called? In-app purchase quest.
Oh my God! So they come out. This is the company. Aminaka Brands, the CEO Robbie Young, who said Hilton is one of the world's most recognised names. With Paris's
unrecognised
eye
vaginas.
with Paris's eye for what's hot in the latest trends and our experience at making popular games, we are confident that consumers around the world will be receptive to Paris Hilton mobile games and themes. She has already had a game called Paris Hilton's Diamond Quest from Gameloft. And GameSpot reported that she showed up 90 minutes late to an E3 autograph signing for the game, which she incorrectly called Paris Hilton's Jewel Jam.
Yeah.
Other celebrities with their own video games or plan to make their own games include Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Lindsay Lohan, and Katy Perry, among others.
Would Kanye's game be either A, just loving Kanye, or B, it would be the award ceremony show where basically your quest is to interrupt everyone who's receiving an award.
It's based on one of his own songs.
And then you get points based on style, control, damage, and aggression. Quick, there's a game idea. Somebody make it, quick.
You think you've seen it all when suddenly celebrities are now going, oh yeah, we're getting into this game making business, Lark, and we're making a game about us.
You know what's happening, don't you? History is finally repeating itself. Remember way back in the day when the Atari 2600 was the shit hot thing, and then some of its programmers wanted credit. Atari wouldn't give it to them, so they broke free and became Activision and started making Atari 2600 games. And then Atari took Activision to court and lost, thus paving the way for any pleb and his dog to make a game for the Atari 2600, thus causing the crash of the gaming industry in the 83s. It's happening again. Except this time it's on the mobile market, which will, of course, have knock-on effects for the AAA market. What with the AAA market now being so fucking hard to develop for because the consoles are so powerful and the PCs are so powerful that everyone is wanting magic to happen instantly instead of having a team of 30 billion people spend 2-3 years to make the magic happen. It's just going to collapse in on itself again. It's going to be the indies left. That's it.
Yeah, well, that seems to be it, because with the big studios, they're rolling everything back. But the indies, I'm seeing more and more games aside from Star Citizen, which apparently is a small country now.
Yeah. Well, the indie games are the only ones kind of being out at them because they're relatively small. They're not taking anywhere near as much of the console's power to play, or the PC's power to run.
And they can be released on PC as well.
Yeah, they're quick, simple, and they're generally quite easy to multi-format due to them all being coded in Unity or some other cross-platform development kit.
Unity.
Fucking love Unity. Whereas I've just upgraded the Corgi engine in Unity to 1.4, and it's so advanced now. I'm going, oh shit, I'm lost again. Time to
Corgi 1.4.
Yep. It's time to relearn everything from scratch again. Bollocks.
It's a useful skill.
Major engine update has really fucked all my knowledge. But the documentation is shit hot this time, so it's going to be easier to relearn.
Well, that's pretty much it then for the gaming news.
So does that mean you want me to play a segment noise?
Play a segment noise.
Very well. Just for you, Pete. One-time segment noise.
It's that time where the cast of TigerTails Radio review stuff badly. This is Done and Dusted.
That ended a bit quicker than I thought it did. Whoops. So yes, it is now time for Done and Dusted, that section of the show where we review things that we've done, touched, eaten, played, watched, viewed, annoyed, or whatever. Basically, we talk about shit for a few minutes, normally about 20. And then the show overruns.
Well, we have apparently established there's going to be talk about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Freddy's?
3.
Is that the horror game in the clothing store?
Freddy's.
Oh, I can't believe you're choosing to wear that. What a jump scare.
Oh god, it's so hideous.
Cream!
The way it's going, it wouldn't surprise me. I do have a film.
I've got a film as well.
I have a film, and TK has a film.
It's not really a film. It's more a kind of half feature-length episode or something. It's only 45 minutes, therefore it's not really a film.
And what does Alex have?
I don't know. I don't know. I might have something, but I have to think.
You said that last week and then didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know, but I can't. I haven't done anything different. I don't think I have.
Well, if we leave Alex to stew, and he can pipe in if he feels like he's remembered something.
So, Five Nights at Freddy's 3.
Yeah, I was surprised this was a thing, and then I saw
wasn't.
what they were talking about, and I went,
I saw the
Fuck.
trailer. I saw the trailer a while ago and was like, ooh. I will now start theorising with all the rest of the internet, but I will keep my theories to myself.
effectively, this is 30 years onwards.
Yeah, this is 30 years after the events of Five Nights at Freddy's, potentially one.
Well, effectively, if the second one was the prequel.
It's hard to
It's
say.
now a horror attraction.
Yep.
Where they're trying to revive the legend and make the experience as authentic as possible for patrons. Going at great lengths to find anything that might have survived decades of neglect and ruin.
Yep.
They have one animatronic.
Well, not for the first night.
No,
The first
night is easy.
The first night is your free pass. There is nothing out to get you. You cannot fail the first night. But it's a good way to introduce yourself to the new concepts. Because no longer is it a case of locking doors or flashing lights to protect yourself. Now you have to worry about things like the ventilation cutting out and causing you to hallucinate, the camera system cutting out and stopping all your access, or the audio system cutting out and destroying your one lifeline.
What's that?
Yeah, let's get to the first mechanic, which is you have two screens that you look at.
And
one of which is your cameras, which is on one side you look at. And the other one is on the reboot system.
Yeah, now, these two systems are kept as far away from each other as humanly possible. So you literally have to scroll from left to right to access these panels.
In the background, there's a window. A big, long window that comes towards a door that has no door in it.
Of course, it's a door hole.
Wait. And does this door have a door lock?
Nope.
Why is there a big door with a door hole?
It's a doorway, and there's no door in it.
Why?
And
Because
there's a window.
There's a big fuck of windows you can see.
Yeah, you can see it walking past.
So what do you do if it goes that way?
Die. Well,
Shit yourself.
if it's in front of the window, then the third mechanic comes into play, where you put up your cameras, and in a nearby room, you can play the sound of Balloon Boy. And all being well, it will attract the animatronic away from the window and towards the sound. Because
So
obviously
you're luring-
they're programmed to go where the sound is.
Yeah, you're luring Freddy
It's
away.
not Freddy. It's an all-new animatronic that we've learnt called Springtrap. But more on him a little bit later. So yeah, the mechanics are, your ventilation system is very important. The new Freddy horror attraction has been designed to be as accurate and authentic as possible to the diners. A little bit too authentic, says the guy on the phone, because the wiring's a bit dodgy, and if the ventilation goes out, then you will start hallucinating some crazy shit due to the fumes that build up very quickly. And so you want to keep the air flowing.
Yeah, some crazy shit.
Now, this crazy shit happens to be phantoms of the old animatronics, who will jump scare the shit out of you, but not kill you.
Or sit in your vision.
Or just sit in your vision and piss you off, yeah. Or just make loud noise while peering at you through the window. Mangle, you fuck. Get out. You are not welcome here. But yeah, the old animatronics can jump scare you, but they can't kill you, which is nice because they're just hallucinations. But they will knock out your ventilation and or other systems because they're dicks.
Yeah, and your systems can also fail if you use too much. So if you look at the cameras or jump between cameras too much, they fail, so you need to reset.
If you play the audio too much, that will also fail, and you'll need to reset that. And like we say, your ventilation will fail whenever it fucking likes, because it's a pain in the ass. And that needs to be reset. So of course, you have to put your cameras away and scooch on over to the reboot system, during which time you can be jump scared by any of the animatronic phantoms, or by Springtrap himself, because dicks.
He walks past the window
And stares in.
or looks through the window, or stands at the door and looks at you for a bit.
Yeah, if it's standing at the door, you're dead. Just bring up the instrument panel and close it again and get it over with. You are jump scared. Although by that time it's not really a jump scare, it's just a noise, because you're kind of expecting it then.
It's just like a, you bastard.
Yeah, when he's at the door, it's like, fuck, I'm just going to stare you out. But then your ventilation system will fail. And if you don't see to it, then your vision will start blacking out and coming back in and blacking out, during which time he's got time to come in and jump scare you. So you have to keep the ventilation up and running. But of course, if he's at the door and your ventilation goes, and you bring up the panel to turn on the ventilation, he gets you that way instead. It's kind of a no-win. If he's standing at the window, you can stare, if it's 5 o'clock, you can stare him out until 6.
Well, if you stare at him, he doesn't move.
He doesn't move, yeah, he'll just stare back.
Really?
But of course, while you're staring, your ventilation system's probably going to go down. And when your ventilation system goes down, you start blacking out, boo, he gets you.
He does also drop back down below the edge of the window.
Yeah, he can move, and he can walk, and he's a fuck. But on the first night, he's not there. They haven't yet discovered him. And on the second night, the phone guy, because he sounds like a surfer dude this time, and the phone dude, I think they call him now, they're like, oh, we totally found one. We have one. Yeah. And then they also found some training tapes. And you hear phone guy once again from the first 2 games coming back, teaching you how to be one of the mascot entertainers at Freddy Fazbear's. And we learned a bit about the original suits way back when. Now, as you know, Five Nights at Freddy's 1, we had the main suits, but there was also the Golden Freddy suit that was always slumped over and caused a bit of confusion. And then in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which was the prequel, we had all the toys and the original ones were out of commission and in a bit of bad repair, but Golden Freddy was still there. And there was a Bonnie that seemed to be a bit of a shadow Bonnie. And this third one, we learned in that the original diner, way back when, the very first one, only had 2 animatronics. Golden Freddy and a Golden Bonnie. It was a yellow rabbit, so we all think that's going to be the original Bonnie. These animatronics were not like other animatronics. These ones had mechanisms in them that would allow you to, with the aid of a crank, turn the animatronics into wearable costumes. It would basically shunt the animatronics to the side of the suit to give you enough room to climb inside. You would then use these spring locks in order to lock the animatronics in place to stop them basically springing back and killing you. However, as you go through the nights, Phone Guy lets you know that these locks are incredibly defective, and a series of injuries at other diners has caused these suits to fall out of commission very quickly. So they are locked inside a safe room, which is for employee use only, not kept on the cameras and not kept on the digital maps learnt by the animatronics, so only employees can get in. And the suit was dumped in there. Now, those of you familiar with the plot of Five Nights at Freddy's will know that at some point in the past, a murderer, potentially, lured children inside a safe room and potentially murdered them while wearing one of the mascot costumes. Coming to the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, we learn that if you complete all the mini-games correctly that happen during the night, not the ones that happen after the night, you can
not if you die this time, that's the thing.
Yeah, they're not death mini-games anymore. You get a mini-game for completing the level.
Wait, death mini-games?
Yeah, in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, when you died, you could potentially play a mini-game that would expand some of the plot. And these mini-games would have you playing as the animatronics, delivering cakes or trying to cheer children up, stop them crying and things. But they would subtly tell you some of the backstory, including one where I think you're playing as Freddy, and there was a child outside watching in, being all sad, and then a purple guy would come along and murder this child, and you were powerless to stop them. And that was always been thought as the first murder, the first child that went missing out of the 5 or 4, however many it was. And so during the course of the mini games in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, they're hidden. You have to find them. There's many tutorials on YouTube how to do that. But you eventually wind up freeing all the souls of the kids. And one by one during the mini games at the end of the day, we find out that the purple guy is dismantling all the animatronics, unbeknowingly releasing the souls of the kids. Not to a heaven, but just freeing them for use later on. By cheering the dead child up and giving them cake, you are indeed freeing them properly and actually letting them pass on properly, not just keeping them in limbo. And once you've completed all of them, you get to go into a big party scene and give the last crying child cake. Whereupon all of the children then are donning masks of the animatronics, and the one you're playing as is actually donning the mask of the marionette. And then they all drop their masks and they float off happily into the afterlife. But they have one little job to do first. And at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, so spoiler warning if you haven't yet completed the game and want to, we'll get Alex to wave on the screen when it's free to come back in, tune back in if you want to mute your sound right about now. And if you haven't muted it by now, then you must want to continue. So at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, you see that you are indeed, after going through the pizzeria, you come across a safe room that you can enter. You find that there's 4 ghosts of the children blocking the door, and the purple guy inside looking not too happy about seeing you. And as you approach the purple guy, he runs away a few times. In the corner of the room is a slumped over Bonnie suit, the golden Bonnie one from the original restaurant. Now, as we know, these are the ones that have the mechanisms in them that allow you to wear the costumes as well as the animatronics. And thinking he's gone to a good idea, the purple guy jumps inside the Bonnie suit. Well, the Spring Bonnie, as he is called in one of the telephone conversations. The spring locks then accidentally deactivate and kill the purple guy inside the suit, who then slumps to the ground twitching. And then all the kids pass on. Or go back into the animatronics, depending if you get the good ending or the bad ending. Now, what's weird about this is that if you watch the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 3, you'll see that to introduce the new animatronic, the camera pans in on this animatronic, slumped in the ground, twitching, just in the way it did during the end minigame when you actually beat the game. Thus proving that in the trailer, you actually see the very end of the game. Somebody getting squished inside the suit. And then you look at all the higher res pictures and you can actually see all the human remains still in Springtrap. And this is the animatronic that's out to get you during the game.
Yeah.
It ain't Freddy.
There's a lot of theories just by looking through the details of the wiki that they've already come together with so far.
Oh yeah. And if you follow 8-Bit Gaming on YouTube or Angry Bear, something, I can't remember the name of it now, but it's a Chinese girl. They've millions of different theories and things about what's important, the timeline of events and everything. But there's still some unanswered questions, like who was the bite of 87? Who was responsible for it? Who did they bite? Who is the phone guy, the one who leaves all the messages? The one who died in Night 4 in the first Five Nights at Freddy's? Or did he die? There's a theory there that he faked his own death. Other theories are abound that he is indeed, in fact, the murderer, which I'm not too sure of because the timelines don't seem to sync for that, because we know that the murderer died inside Springtrap. and yet can still be on the telephone leaving messages. So not too sure about that theory. But yeah, where there are still so many unanswered questions, there's lots of fan theories, and the lore is not quite finished. Hence why fans are demanding a fourth game, because we need these loose ends tied up, bitch. Now, from what I've read, Scott has hinted that there may be a fourth game, but that just could be people kind of either exaggerating or just speaking plain bullshit. So, until we actually hear from Scott, there's anything as possible. The kind of preview teaser picture on his website is just a Freddy's hat. No other signs. If you look in the code, there's no indication of a fourth game. If you get the hat image and brighten it or darken it, there's no hidden anything.
Well, some people have looked at the hat, and some people think there is something there.
I have examined that hat very closely. There is no fours, there is no nothing. Those people are talking bullshit. Or at least on the day I looked at it, because Scott's been known to update that site daily, so there may or there may not be, but I haven't been able to find one yet. So I'm very sceptical of those who claim they have. I think they're just trying to add fuel to a fire that doesn't need fueling. If Scott has decided to stop the franchise there, it would be a good place to end it, because now we know what happened to the murderer, or the purple guy. We don't really know who the purple guy is, though, which would be something that'd be nice to know. And if he is the phone guy. I don't think he is. And if Scott says he is, then I'm going to call bullshit, but still. But yeah, we want those loose ends tied up, damn it. We have questions, they need answers. We've played the shit out of these games, people, we deserve answers. Yeah.
Well, it might be that he'll work on a game that maybe explains the Great Bite, because...
Well, or at least, that's why I don't really want a fourth game. What I would much prefer is a half-decently made animated short, maybe like 5-10 minutes, just filling the story pieces that are missing. And just spelling it out for us idiots who haven't been able to figure it out yet. Or at least adding some more clues, so that we can get a much better idea of who everyone is. Because we've only got a few names. We know Mike Schmidt, he was one of the people that you played as. And there was another guy whose name I can't remember that you played as well.
Yep.
I'm sure people will be able to fill me in on.
And some people theorise that one of them was the phone guy or the murderer because of the badge on the purple guy's thing. And
it wasn't a badge, it was the thing he was holding in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. When he killed you, he seemed to be holding something that resembled a phone. But now the general consensus is that that thing was actually a crank used to crank the animatronics for when he was getting into the Golden Bonnie suit, which has now become a Springtrap. But damn, this game took a dark turn, Five Nights at Freddy's 3. When it came along with you having to free the souls of the children without realising that you're actually kind of playing as the marionette. The marionette, the freaky-ass bastard thing, is actually the good guy in all this. What the fuck? And... oh, it's just not right. And yeah,
well, I think
purple guy comes from a very grisly end.
I think probably the best thing to do would be to take it out of just being sat in one place. If you had the chance of doing more, maybe allowing more movement.
Well, now I know how the game's coded, because I've actually gone to one of the websites that have decompiled the games and put up all the asset files. I can see why he's done it the way he has. Because, yeah, the way it's coded at the moment, there is no way you can get up and move around. All the backgrounds obviously pre-rendered. They're not rendered on the fly. They're all just JPEG images with the camera filters and overlays put over the top. And for each individual thing you see, so every time an animatronic is in a room, that is a completely different JPEG.
Oh.
And there are two versions of the JPEG, one with the torch on, one with the torch off, so that when you turn your torch on, it lights up. That's not a dynamic effect. That's a whole new background image. It's just being very quickly put in the scene.
He took the hard way of coding, didn't he?
No, he took the easy way of doing it, really. Because he doesn't... What are you doing?
Yeah, I downloaded it.
What, 3?
Yeah.
On the phone?
Yeah.
How much was it?
It was £2.
Oh, really?
$2.39 or something like that.
Shit, that's cheap. I'm getting on that. I've got 1 and 2 on my phone. I've completed 1.
So if you're a fan, certainly look into it. Certainly watch the videos, because...
What's great is when you complete 3, you get access to the menus, so you get to play all the mini-games, and they remember your state, so you can save the children and try and complete Night 5, get the good ending. When you complete Night 6, which is Nightmare Mode, you get a slightly different ending. I mean, in the other one, you get the ending picture as normal when you get the little animation. But in Night 6, you actually get a newspaper cutting. And it reveals that the horror attraction burnt down before opening, which is kind of sad. And nearly everything was destroyed, but some parts were salvaged. And when you lighten that image, because there's a picture of the little Freddy plushie that you have on your desk, when you lighten it, you can see Springtrap hiding behind it, smiling at you.
Oh, fuck.
Because some parts were salvaged and sold at private auction. Oh, shit.
Whole new environments.
Anything is possible.
Well, moving on
his
then
soul's-
from
his soul's
Five
not been
Nights
put
at
to rest.
Freddy's.
Oh, do we have
I
to?
have...
Oh, do we have to?
Yes. I have a film I watched a couple of weeks ago, Life After Beth.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This is a zombie comedy film. It came out in 2014. When it initially came out, I was like, "Pfft, it's another zombie film with comedy." I wasn't particularly bothered about the idea of it. And when I was round Robin's last 2 weekends ago,
Yeah.
Paul put this on after Horrible Bosses. Horrible Bosses I will briefly put into mainstream popcorn flick, which is moderately okay humour. Life After Beth, I did not expect it to be what it was, and I started by not paying attention to it.
As you do.
It didn't let me. The plot: Zach, typical emo kid,
Yeah.
his girlfriend died from a snake bite whilst on a hike.
Doll.
He's devastated, and
Oddly
he
enough.
is trying to deal with this whole death thing in the emo way that kids do. He hangs out with Beth's parents as a source of comfort. They reveal they were having problems as part of their relationship before that she died. They were kind of on a separated basis because she'd expressed desire to see other people before she died. And they were kind of bonding, helping each other get through this thing, kind of the thing you would expect. And the setup initially leads you to think it's going to be one of those emotional, soppy things with zombies in it, because with the title you knew zombies was going to be in it. The parents of Beth, Maury and Greenie, stop answering the door or the phone to Zach, which was a bit odd. And he goes to the house to try and figure out what's going on.
Okay.
He sees Beth through a window and attempts to break in.
As you do.
And his brother, who's apparently a security officer, is called in to escort him off the premises. And you start to have a dynamic of the families build up a bit more, because his brother's a bit of a douche who wanted to be, a soldier and shoot people.
Okay.
Literally, that was his dream. You get this told to you later on in the film. It's quite hilarious. But he's now convinced he's seen Beth and she's alive, so he goes back
Okay.
to her grave,
Nice.
where he finds the large hole, as if something had burrowed out of the grave.
Oh.
So he goes back to Beth's house, breaks in, find where she's been hiding, and very quickly not only discovers that she may have come back as a miracle, don't mention the words zombie resurrection,
Yeah.
but she has no memory of the past week and appears completely sound and normal.
Oh. ...
Now, her parents are very reluctant to let her leave the house. You could say slightly paranoid.
Oddly enough.
And they refuse to explain to Beth that she is dead. And in order to get his end away, Zach sneaks her off the premises, and basically they get it on in a park during daytime, which results in Beth getting blisters on the face which don't heal.
Oh.
Yes.
Because they got it on, or because of the heat?
Heat.
Ah.
It's at that point that incidents begin to pop up where people are acting similar to Beth. Some of these incidents include a random postman who can't drive,
Oh.
a catering staff who seem to lack any kind of communication skills beyond the normal lack of communication skills, and very, very strange things. And they get mood swings, same as Beth does. Two exceedingly angry Hulk-like mood swings, which only gets calmed down if they listen to easy listening smooth jazz.
What?
Yeah, they actually have a segment where he's singing the song he wrote for her because he's that emo guitar guy who was in a band. She rages out and only relaxes to easy listening smooth jazz. I was watching the film at this point and I was like, if you made me do that, I would kill you. And he's starting to freak out because he can't deal with the fact that she's violent and kind of goes crazy and suddenly has no memory of them breaking up. He ends up running into a childhood friend, as you do, who is a daughter of a friend of his mother's, which is a weird conversation because they're having this very surreal conversation about how their mothers know each other from like Zumba class, and it's like, oh yeah, they were talking about you, oh yeah, and then he starts going into a more strange and surreal conversation where he compliments the fact that her skin is soft and she doesn't smell of dead things.
Yeah,
Lovely.
And that you could breathe through your nose when you're around you. Whereupon he asks her the question, do you find if anyone else is acting strange or creepy? Her response being, you mean aside from you?
I tell my loved one all the times that she can breathe through the nose.
And Beth has a Hulk attack in the middle outside, and in dragging her off of her friend, he breaks her arm or dislocates Beth's shoulder. So you now have her wandering around with a dislocated shoulder. He then shows her grave in order to prove that she's dead, and she then steals his car and drives off.
Teenagers, eh? Oh, jeez.
It gets stranger. He gets home to find that his dead grandfather has resurrected and returned to his parents' house, to be promptly shot by his Desert Eagle-owning brother, who's in a towel and freaking out. His parents are a bit confused. Zach is trying to explain, oh no, this is fine, he's just the dead come back to life. They have a thing about attics, they like attics, just let them go up to the attics. And then the previous owners of the house turn up, who are also dead.
Okay.
And then they start making comments about the decorations of the house. And the parents are trying to deal in that family way. His brother's trying to shoot everyone, and Zach eventually leaves because he's freaking out, and also because Beth's father appears to try and get him to patch things up with zombie Beth and tell her that he lied about her death and promises to be with her forever.
Right, that's going to be like a recipe for disaster, but worse.
Yep. Then he goes off on a further tangent because Zach believes that this is all part of a thing that maybe Beth's former housekeeper, who is Haitian, would actually have news about. So,
Oh, yeah, of course. Just because he's Haitian.
literally, that is in the film as a joke.
Oh,
Just
dear.
because they're Haitian, we know about zombies. Yes. But she's freaking out still. Beth is, and she has a rage and eats a neighbour.
As you do.
As you do, and he heads off to try and find this information. He is then given nothing to do with zombies. Maury appears, knocks him out, and steals Beth. Because crazy. He eventually wakes up, gets back to his family house to try and find out what's going on, but instead finds a stranger in his house and a pile of burnt bodies in the backyard. And at this point, suddenly, zombie apocalypse. So he's now trying to do the best he can to get the hell out.
As you do.
He goes to Beth's house.
As you do.
And finds and this is the weirdest thing, the car that she stole, the father stole, parked / crashed in the driveway. She is impaled by a stick through the stomach into the oven and tied down, whilst her mother is feeding her bits of her fingers, we think.
Well, that's unfortunate.
What is this? This sounds like a B movie.
She's trying to deal with the fact that her daughter's a zombie, and she's trying to look after her in the only way she can. Especially seeing as after she's eaten her father, and and Zach says, he'll look after Beth, and he calms Beth down by saying, yes, we'll go on a hike, because this was a thing that Beth always asked him to do, and he always said no. So she stands up, impaled into an oven, to go for a hike.
Perfectly normal activity.
Yeah, the surreal. By the time you get to this, it's like watching the guy running around going, it's a zombie apocalypse. This is fucking zombie apocalypse, and I'm having to deal with my dead girlfriend who's still alive, who's attached to an oven. And he ends up having an argument with his brother, who's running around living his dream, shooting people. He's like, no, I'll take her away and I'll deal with her. Just leave me to do it. Just don't give me the gun. Which he does. And they have their final moments, and the most ridiculous death scene ever. And I just sat there going, this actress is going to be remembered for playing a zombie carrying an oven through the hills. With some of the most ridiculous dialogue ever.
This is American, right?
Yep.
This is American.
It doesn't sound American.
And it ends with, oh no, the zombie apocalypse was just a tiny little thing in this state.
It was a blip.
Yeah, it was a blip. Literally, it was a blip. And Zach and the girl who he met, who knew his mother, who also had gone through a traumatic experience, she had to kill her aunt, who was dead. They're suddenly having like this date match-up thing in the back of the car, and I'm watching this thinking, I've just watched the most surreal family comedy in the middle of Zombieland ever. It was so weird. But it in discussing this with my friends, it so feels like Jewish comedy stuff going on, and Jewish family stuff going on in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and you sit there and go, yeah. The zombies are coming back to life, family are turning up, the family are having an argument in the living room. The guy's girlfriend is dead but come back to life and doesn't believe they've broken up before she died. The father's freaking out. It's like all of this stuff going on, and it's weird, but it grabbed me away from being uninterested to actually sat there going, well, is there something going on? Is the Haitian involved? Is it really something sci-fi? What the hell is going on with the attic? Why, for the love of God, are we talking about calming them down with easy listening jazz? None of that is explained.
Of course not.
At
Why
all.
would it be?
Because it doesn't need to be, because the whole point is it's this kid who is going through an emotional time, now has to go through an emotional time in a zombie apocalypse with his dead girlfriend. And it's hilarious. Some of the gags are a little bit dry, but you do have
they've
bits which are
decomposed
just,
a bit.
Oh.
but you do have some awesome, hilarious moments. The film stars Aubrey Plaza. Apparently, she is from Parks and Recreation, which is on my list of things to watch.
Yeah.
She is Beth. Let's see, and Dane DeHaan, who was in things like Chronicle and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as, I believe, Norman Osborn? Or Harry Osborn, sorry. And he plays the emo, skinny kid to a T, and watching him run around and freak out is just hilarious. The Aubrey, who plays Beth, is just fantastic as you watch her just deliver ridiculous lines with such deadpan humour, and you're laughing out loud at the ridiculousness of it, and she's still carrying on with an oven on her back through the mountains hiking, and it's like, there's no way in hell I could have a serious scene with you in that way.
No, of course not.
At all. And I just loved it. It's brilliant. it premiered back in the Sundance Film Festival at the start of this year. It was given a very limited release August 15th, and it is on DVD already. Oh, I think not DVD, maybe Netflix. I liked it. It grabbed me away from watching stuff on my phone and piddling around with my phone and made me watch it. Which for a film these days is really good. And I would certainly recommend it to anyone who maybe feels like they're a bit sick to death of zombie films.
Yep.
Because
Very sick to death of them.
this sits there and goes, oh yeah, there's zombies happening, but that's not why you're watching it. You're watching it because of the crazy people who are trying to deal in a real-life way / TV real-life way with what's going on around them. Oh yeah, and also the zombies.
Of course.
And it's stupidly hilarious. So that's Life After Beth on Netflix. Go out and watch it. If the DVD comes out, grab it. It's a good fun film.
I've heard lots of things about Netflix originals and them all being awesome. I've not watched any of them yet.
They're quite good, actually, some of the Netflix originals.
So check me out being Captain Up with the Times.
I think some are a bit like, okay. But then that's like normal TV. You get some shows that are okay and some are really freaking good.
Yeah, some are amazing. Like
It's starting to get to the point where I may invest in it. That's how good it is.
Well, Netflix.
Yeah.
Why haven't you?
No, I haven't. No.
It's totally
I
worth
don't
it.
know why. I was going to say why. I mean,
It's totally worth Hedgie investing in it for me.
yeah, same with Felix. Felix invested in it for me.
We are just Netflix scum. We just live
So
with
that's like-
someone who has it.
TK, what have you got then?
Well, you know, sometimes you just can't let go of your childhood.
Frequently.
Yeah. Well, it seems that the childhood's come back to haunt me. Many, many moons ago, back in 1984, a lovely little woman called Britt Allcroft decided that she was going to make a television series out of the Reverend W. Awdry's books, The Railway Series. And thus Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends was born. Many, many moons later, the Americans got hold of it and bugged it up. They were called Hit Entertainment. Insert an S at the start of that at your leisure. Recently, some competent people in Hit Entertainment have managed to get in charge of it and actually started writing decent episodes at last. And a lovely company called Arc Animations has been doing the animations for it. And yeah, well, the models went CG a while ago, and then it's actually come along in leaps and bounds and is actually turned back into a half-sensible program, which is nice, with some nice stories, some nice little plots and things, and it's all rather good. Then they decided to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the books to rape my childhood in the best way possible. And I've released a short called Thomas the Tank Engine, The Adventure Begins. And it goes way back to the start of the stories, when it was just Edward, Henry and Gordon on the island, with James being the newbie, in the days before Thomas. Which is good. We like the days before Thomas.
Thomas. No, yeah.
Yeah, Thomas arrives, but he's very much the newbie. They really do give the kind of the nod to the original books as opposed to the original TV series. Because... Oh, hello. The difference, you know. But I was playing Five Nights at Freddy's 3 on my phone at the same time.
Oh.
And I finished the first night, then it gave me a minigame I wasn't expecting.
Well, it's retelling of the first two books.
Yeah, the retelling of the first few stories at least. But they give James his original colour, which is black, not red. He's in his BR lines black. And they give Thomas his original London and Brighton South Coast Railway livery, as opposed to the blue one you see straight away in the TV series. And it's like, okay, different. And they retell a few of the classic episodes, some done in flashback, some done written into the timeline, and some other things. And they expand on it a little bit and stuff. But the most impressive bit is James's crash that they had in season 1. The original one happened off camera. Basically, he was being pushed by some trucks. His brake blocks were made out of wood and overheated and caught fire.
I remember that.
Yep, you remember that. And he basically crashed into a field of cows. Now you get to see the crash. Holy shit. This isn't just, oh look, he's fallen over a bit. They go full-on drama. Complete with the music and everything. They've throughout the entire episode, they take some of the original themes from the original TV series back when Michael Donald and Julie Campbell were doing it, and they remix them into the kind of modern day, but keeping the original theme kind of there as well, so it's all a very nice kind of throwback. And then they have the Runaway music, which is the one they always had during the Dangerous Runaways. And it has Thomas ending up chasing James down the line in order to try and help slow him down and prevent derailment, which doesn't happen. Hedgie compared the music to something out of a James Bond film. Yeah, they go a bit serious with the music. And they go a bit serious with the crash. And you watch this crash and going, how the shit did anybody survive? You know, after all the dust settles, you get the guard crawling out of his brake van, giving him the thumbs up, going, yep, fine. It's like, you did not live through that. We are watching your animated corpse. No one survived.
He pokes his head and goes, oh, it's a bit of a bum, wasn't it?
It's a flesh wound. Luckily, no one was hurt, as they say in every episode. But, oh, God, no one survived that crash. Seriously, shitting hell. They went a bit serious with it. And especially with the music, it was all kind of high-strung violin, tension, drama music. It's like, when did this suddenly not become a kids' film? This has now turned into a horror film. What the fuck's going on? What happened to Thomas? It's like, it's really, really, really good. Now, it's a Walmart exclusive at the moment, and when it comes to the UK, it's going to be an Asda exclusive. So, of course, naturally, it was available in full on YouTube the day after release. I love YouTube. So I made sure I watched it yesterday during my lazy day, and then stayed up way too late watching a load of old Thomas episodes I haven't seen yet, because I missed quite a lot of series 5, 6 and 7. So I was catching up on some of that. But no, the smash only 45 minutes long, and for us people who are old and remember the original series, and then were quite upset when it went all shitified with Hit Entertainment, this is a nice throwback. It's a nice way to remember some of the old Ringo Starr stories, just without Ringo Starr telling them. And to see how things were back in the early days, but now with the added benefit of the CG being able to give us more dynamic camera shots, much better view of the action, and more detail in the action, and just generally improving things without actually breaking it, which is what I was worried about. I thought they were going to ruin the stories, but actually Andrew Brenner, the new head writer, has done them justice. So I'm actually quite happy about that. So it's like, my childhood, it's been raped, but it hasn't. I am now confused. My childhood isn't comfortable with this confusion. I do not like it, but I do like it, because it's actually quite enjoyable. I'm now going, what the fuck have I just watched? Because that was actually really quite good. This has no business being quite good. I don't like it. I do like it. It's actually really, really bad. I was fearing the worst. I came away quite glad that I was wrong. I like being proved wrong sometimes. Yeah, I'm not right all the time, just most of it. I thought this is going to be a disaster, they're going to fuck it up. And they didn't, and it was really nice. Of course, some of the purists were upset because some things happened in the wrong order, or there wasn't enough rivets in something, or some other bullshit reason to get pissy at something. But overall, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah, if you remember Thomas from back in the olden days, and think, oh no, I've grown out of that now, just set aside 45 minutes of your day and watch this on YouTube, and just relive your glory days. And then realise that, yeah, you probably are too old for this shit, and then not watching it anymore.
That's alright. The next one, the next special is Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure.
Yeah. Not sure what to think about that yet.
Yes.
But then the ones Andrew Brenner have written, including the one just passed, I can't remember the name of now, have actually all been rather enjoyable.
Tale of the Brave.
That was it. And then the one before that, King of the Railway. All been quite enjoyable. Andrew Brenner is a good story writer. But then it figures, because back in the olden days, during Series 3, he used to write for the comics, the Thomas Tank Engine comics. And some of his stories actually were adapted for the TV series, and he wasn't credited. In fact, the first he knew of it is when he saw the episodes. And he was pissed. So he's now head writer of the series in a completely unrelated chain of events. And doing rather well. So good luck to him, and long may a decent spell of Thomas the Tank Engine continue.
So that's The Adventure Begins, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yep.
Alex. Yes.
Do you have anything?
Not really.
Didn't think so.
I just don't do anything at the moment. Nothing different, anyway.
So what was the same that you've done?
Same. I just...
Yeah, if you've not done anything different, what was the same?
I'm just catching up on, like, TV shows. Like I said, I'm just watching...
Yeah, well, it's TV talk now, so talk.
Yeah, but it's nothing interesting. Like I said, it's comedy, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's all I've been watching.
Oh, God, what?
It's actually really good.
Well, talk about it then. Sell it to us.
No, it's a comedy. It's a comedy that's really good. Watch it and you'll see why it's really good. It's like Scrubs, but like modern. There we go.
Is it set in a medical place?
No, it's like the Scrubs of the police force.
Oh, God.
There we go.
So it's a kind of police comedy in the vein of Scrubs.
Yeah.
Okay, and if that hasn't sold you on it by now, then it's never going to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really need to say anything else.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
good point, well made.
It has won 2 Golden Globe Awards, one for Best Television Series, Musical or Comedy, and one for Andy Samberg for Best Actor.
Wait, why? Why is there...
Peter's fast on the Wikipedia tonight.
What? Yeah, he is. Why is there 2... Why is comedy and musical in the same
Don't ask. It has been renewed for a second season, which started September 28th last year. And January it's been renewed for a third season.
Yep. It's done really well. It's really good.
Pete, you adding this to the show notes?
Oh, God, I'll add it to the show notes for
Get on it, come on.
It's something to look at, because I've not heard... Wow, that's big letters. I've not heard of this one.
Really? So I saw an advert for it, and the advert was essentially I didn't even know if it was an actual comedy or not, or if it was like sort of... I had no idea about it. But basically, the police chief of that district said, "Oh yeah, if you can," they make a bet where it's like basically, "Oh yeah, if you can get my medal from my my office before like X amount of time, then you win." Sort of thing. He says, "Oh yeah, I'll do it." But then like the police chief, after he tries like a stupid attempt of going in through the ceiling, and he like locks up the medal into his safe that has the key on him and also requires a passcode and shit like that. So he's like, "Yeah, no," goes up. And so basically, it follows around the main character who is like, he's intelligent, but he fucks about. He's like really immature.
Class clown kind of thing.
Yeah, but he's like a really good detective, but he just is really immature. He's like the main center, and the other main characters is the one who always tries to be like the top of the class sort of student, a bit like, you know, Elliot from Scrubs. There's like the buffoon sort of detective who like nothing ever seems to go really right for him, and he's always like, he's basically the sidekick of the main character, if you get me. So there's no sort of like I don't know, because the relationship between the main character and the side character are sort of like not on the same level, but sometimes he does treat him like he's on the same level, but usually it's somewhere below. Like if they were to do a routine of like acting out what the criminal done and the victim done, he would always play the victim. Sort of thing. And then when he complains about it, the other guy says, "Well, do you want him to be the door this time?" He's like, "No, I'll be the victim." Yeah. And then there's another cop who's basically like a proper angry, macho, like female. You just get pissed at everything. It's really good. Oh, and Terry Crews plays the captain of the force. I love Terry Crews. He's so funny.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
You don't know who Terry Crews is?
I probably will want to see the face.
American Old Spice advert.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it becomes clear.
He's great. He's so funny.
He's an intimidating black man until he gets an opportunity
to act
up.
Yeah.
And then he just turns into a child.
It's like the guy should be scary, but it's like just go camp, and you go, holy fuck, that's a gay camp guy.
He's a good actor. He actually, you know, unfortunately, I saw like the first film I ever saw him in, and I don't know why I watched this film. I can't remember. It was on those White Chicks. I liked him in that, but then I thought that, like, you know, oh, well, he's just like I didn't say he was a shit actor, but I was like, oh, okay, not great. But then I watched other stuff that he's been in, like the TV series that Everybody Hates Chris. And it's like, oh, he's actually really good.
Yes. Yes, I remember him in that. God damn.
Yeah.
Hey, what was the name of the thing you did for them? Oh, yeah. You haven't done one technically. We talked about Final Fantasy 3, and then you did a thing. I can't remember what it was.
I did Life After Beth.
That was it.
So basically, the show is about this police force that has a new police, not commissioner, but basically the head of the district comes in, a new one, and he's very about changing it and everything. And it's funny because the character is I don't want to say emotionless, but he doesn't ever show emotion. He's like very sincere, usually, and he's also black and gay. So it's interesting. Lots of jokes are made by the fact that nobody can ever tell what he's thinking because he's literally straight faced all the time. He plays deadpan quite well. Imagine Jack D, but not angry, just a bit more normal looking.
I'll have to actually watch some of this just to see.
If you want a light, it's 20 minutes an episode, so it's one of those sort of light watches. It's really good.
So it's half an hour with adverts.
Yeah, but it's actually 22 on Netflix.
Oh.
I mean, two guys and a girl, which is one that I would endorse. Ryan Reynolds and Nathan Fillion are in it. It's tiny episodes. They are tiny episodes, but it's stupid fun comedy.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where, so far I've been doing with Brooklyn Nine-Nine is just watching 4 episodes in a row and going, that didn't feel like effort. Where in the same time I could watch 1.5 episodes of something like Chuck or Mentalist, and while they're enjoyable, it's a bit more of a I want to watch the next episode, but do I really have time?
So is this called Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could just, watch all 3 seasons of Sherlock and then just go,
fuck, did my day
season
go?
4. Bring season 4, for God's sake.
Yeah, hurry up, Moffat. Get writing. Just stop doing Doctor Who because you're crap at that, and get on with Sherlock because you're good at that. Stick to what you're good at.
Please, God. So yeah, as you probably all can tell, we've reached the end of episode 51.
Mm-hmm.
Which means
we
next
have
week, the final show of season 8.
The final show.
And Mrs. Xavier isn't going to be down here for it.
I know. What a poop face.
It will mean after that we'll literally be tear down whilst TK sorts the studio out.
So, Mr. Xavier, I've only got 3 words for you about not being here. Just 3. Shame on you.
I couldn't get the time off. But it does mean that the sites will be put on hiatus. There'll be the pause whilst we get everything ready before season 9.
Yeah.
I have to break open the Wikipedia and go, who's edited what and how the hell do we get everything back up again? Or Furpedia.
Wikifur.
That's the one.
Yeah. I might actually do some work on the websites when we're down. You never know your luck. I can't promise anything. You know what happens? I always say, oh yeah, these things will get done.
They never do.
Well, we're gonna have to get some stuff kicked around because season 8 was hectic for some things. It really was. I mean, we've not done as much as we normally would do because we didn't really get the barbecue out of the way like we normally do.
Yeah.
But we still had the E3 stuff that happened. We still had a few interesting combined productions with Felis's Little Detachment.
By Little Detachments, do you mean Bad Fanfic Theatre?
Yes. There's a reason why we say that.
Did we actually have a E3 podcast show? We didn't, did we?
No, we talked about it on the main show instead.
No, because it was on while because I didn't know. I was like, I'm off to E3 party, guys. Felis,
yeah, you log it off.
I go off for legitimate review reasons.
Yeah, party.
E3 party.
And at this time, it looks like we might either be just back, or it's going to be on while we're not on air.
Well, if it's on while we're not on air, we just do a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so keep your eye on the site. If you've got us on your RSS feeds, then keep an eye on your RSS feeds, because we will pop up every now and again with a thing.
Well, we will be updating, because I've got work I need to do for TigerTails Gaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's another RSS feed you can keep your eye on, TigerTails Gaming.
Done and Dusted needs to be fixed.
You mean uploaded completely?
That's the one.
There is a mini Done and Dusted archive back on our TigerTails Radio. It's blog.tigertailsradio.co.uk. There is there's a Done and Dusted archive on that.
We are also on Google Plus, which I don't have the password for the main site.
That doesn't matter, because Google Plus apparently is going... It's going the way of the dodo.
Well, it's splitting. It's not dying, it's splitting.
Yeah, but the actual Google Plus elements, the actual blog bit, is disappearing, apparently.
I thought they were just splitting it, because they were taking the photos and the videos and then the other stuff and just separating it.
Yeah, it's like Hangout's going to be merged into part of YouTube, whereas the photos and things are going to be merged into their own separate service.
Yeah, their own thing. So I thought that was where it was going that way.
Yeah, I think the blogging platform is actually being discontinued.
That's an ask, because I keep getting people +1 in comments I make about the show and randomly friending me.
Oh well.
Which is why I need the show, so I can go, here's the advert for the show. Here's the link for the show. Follow the show.
Yeah, well, the show has ended up being attached to a person as opposed to a page, because back when I made the thing, pages weren't available. That's why the TigerTails Entertainment and TigerTails Gaming ones are pages, so I can have multiple administrators. Whereas the TigerTails Radio one is actually attached directly to an account.
Yeah.
That I use, so you're having it. Sorry, Pete.
Well, if the split happens, then undoubtedly we'll all have separate profiles again, so, things will happen.
Yeah, even more Google profiles, because, that's totally what we need.
Yep.
But, on the plus side, I think this is the first show in the latter seasons where no technical hiccups.
True.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying, 10% off UK PSN store.
What now?
Ends today.
Shit, really?
Yes. Oh, yes. That a random thing appeared on the PSN thing saying, use this code, get 10% off.
Yeah, that was the apology.
Yeah.
I've already used mine.
No,
this is an open code. This isn't your individual one. This was
really?
open posted.
Yeah.
Oh, bum.
I'm looking at it now. And I'm going,
Is that the front door?
Was that the front door? Okay, I'll get it.
Wherever it is, time to piss off. Unless it's food.
But yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of stuff. If you want to follow us, you can find us on Facebook under TigerTails Radio, TigerTails Entertainment.
I've got to go answer the door.
If you want to follow us on Google Plus, we are indeed on TigerTails Radio as well as TigerTails Gaming. We are also on Twitter under TigerTails Radio, and we do have the main site of tigertailsradio.co.uk or tigertails.co.uk, where you can point all the remainder RSS feeds so that way you can keep track of what's going on. We will update during the hiatus, because with one show left, we'll just be wrapping everything up, and then once we're ready to go live, there'll be big fanfares and lots of updates, and we'll undoubtedly have new platforms of which we have to then sync to our social profiles.
The joys. The joys.
And hopefully I'll have been able to convince more of the studio hosts to join in with TigerTails Gaming, and maybe get Alex to, actually do some streaming.
I haven't moved yet. When I move and I have decent internet and or am I in the proximity of where TK lives, I can do that.
All right, Pete, no need to kill yourself, jeez. Breathe, boy, breathe.
In fact,
it's
I could do it while we don't do Mondays anymore.
Yeah. He could do like a regular gaming stream.
Exactly. You could call it something, I don't know. I'll come up with a name and it will be cool and all the kids will ignore it because it's not
Alex,
Minecraft.
It's the last show next week, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you reckon Felix is going to come?
No. Actually, I think he will try to, at least try to.
Shall we, because Pete's not going to be here, so we should try and make him jealous. Shall we have a fancy dress party?
Oh, yeah. I shall wear the finest attire, and it's good because I can now fit back into my fancy clothes just.
Oh, you want to dress up fancy?
Oh, that's sort of fancy. Or
Yeah.
we're talking...
I'm talking like novelty clothes. Novelty dress.
I don't even know if I have novelty clothes.
that is fancy for you, isn't it?
I was going to say, if you haven't, I've got a couple of things you could wear.
Okay.
I've got one costume, but you'll have to provide your own t-shirt for it.
Okay.
I can show you after the show.
Okay. It was nice knowing you all.
That'll be fine. It's all perfectly good for clean fun. I think
It's clean. He cleaned it with bleach.
oh dear. I despair, I really do. But yeah, and we're going to expect Pete, you to dress up as well in a silly costume or something, and then send photos in because we won't be able to see you.
Yeah, silly costume. Yeah, about
yeah,
that.
and you've got your Google Plus thing, so I can see you on a camera. You can turn your camera on, and I can see you on the Google Plus and take screenshots.
Ooh.
And then we can all appear on camera in our silly clothing, and it'll be funny.
That buzzing has come back, sort of.
It has, hasn't it?
Really, but it's not me now because when I touch this, it doesn't go away, or does it? No, it doesn't. It does, sort of. I think this microphone is weird.
It is hedges. But yes,
Yeah.
we shall leave it on that note. So Pete, you can think of a costume that you can summon up by next week, and we want to see it on the camera. That's your homework. You've got a week.
You got homework.
You have to find something funny for Felis, if he comes. If he's not too ill. Like we say, get well soon, Felis. Try not to die on us. Because he is currently the plague, he said in a text. But yes, we should be back next week with the final episode of Season 8, where there may or may not be alcohol involved. We do have work the following morning, so if there is alcohol, there won't be much of it. But on that note, it is a good night from the Xavier.
Good night.
It's a good night from the Angel Duck Song.
Good night.
And it's a good night for myself, TK. Thank you very much for listening to this week's show. We will be back next week, as we say, for the final episode of Season 8. But until then... The last ever of Season 8, maybe. But until then, it's night-night, everybody. Night-night.